Well, as you can see here, I got my smartphone and my iPad recording. So I hope that this goes well. I'm going to try to load this on YouTube. And if YouTube rejects me, then so be it. I just got done watching a video last night. It was called, and shout outs to you, Big Boss Calvin 83. And it talked about, Kent in terms of how he was complaining. I'm going to give my take about the whole situation, about this real gynocentric society. And I've come to the conclusion where the gynocentric society will never change. The laws have always catered to the women. And so I had this idea in my head, and if I decide to print these t-shirts or sweatshirts that says something about MGTOW or red pill brother or whatever, I'm hoping I don't get sued for that. So, I think my whole thinking of that situation is to send a message to these women out here of today that you know what, from now on, and I'm gonna call this video validation, that I don't need to seek validation from you, because it's gotten to the point where in this American society that it's basically gotten to be a joke. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, there may be some women that don't dress slutty, they don't dress in tight outfits and all that other stuff. And I think I remember there was this one woman that he went out with this buck dancing, bojangling idiot, and he probably told her, "Well, you don't." He probably had the nerve, the mitigated gall to tell her, "Well, you don't dress sexy enough," and all that bullshit. Now, I think this guy must have been a real idiot to probably say that to her. Now this girl dresses like, what was it, halter tops and stuff that sees her cleavage and all that stuff, and you got to ask yourself the real question. Now, most of these girls, and the majority of them, are so disingenuous that it just kind of makes you sick to your stomach. Now, I know for myself that right now, at this very moment, a transitional period in my life, that I need to get myself together. But let's say if I did, and let's say if I go out and try to talk to these girls, I got my own place, my own apartment and stuff, I would still have the same trouble with these women. But the one thing I'm going to try to do, and as soon as I find my way to get myself together, I'm going to start to travel a little bit. And I've heard something about Brazil, and I might check that out. And I remember some people were telling me the pros and cons about the language and all that stuff. And I love to check that out, man. Basically, because I remember one day there was a guy who came into a strip joint called Deja Vu, and he came in with this scrapbook. He was the son of a preacher, so he was afraid to tell his dad. Matter of fact, and to make a long story short, he showed these pictures of these women, and my God, I mean, these women were gorgeous, sexy, all that bullshit. I mean, they are the pros and cons of Brazil, from what I'm hearing. And it could be you have to probably deal with the salty food, and the men probably over in their country, just doesn't be phased by it, which is fine. But in this culture, man, it's like it's gotten to the point where you see these guys walking around, and especially the black men, and the majority of the black men are just a laughing stocks. I mean, just flat out stupid. The other day, I just saw some buck dancing, bojangling idiot trying to go holler at some girl, and she just sits up and ignores him like you're nothing. Well, excuse me. As you can see, this one was probably done. I don't know. I'll probably just figure out a way. But that's the sad thing. You know, and he was a buck dancing, bojangling idiot. You know, I mean, when you got girls ignoring your ass like this, even the young girls. The point is that 9 times out of 10, these girls ain't worth about nothing. Now these girls could be in college. I don't know. Even if they are in college, yes, you got these women walking around, and especially the black women that throwing themselves to white men. And don't get me wrong, yes, I don't knock them for marrying white men, but some of you brothers, man, need to quit seeking validation from these women, man. Just straight up, because you've already made yourself look stupid and bad and awful enough as it is. I mean, why go out there and seek validation? I mean, only women would seek validation. Now, sometimes, man, you have to develop an attitude that, when it comes to your fashion or whatever, that you have to have a I don't give a fuck attitude. And that's just the way it goes. If that woman can't help you, do things like pay your rent or cook and clean for your ass, then guess what? You don't need to be dealing with this heifer. Because all she's going to do is just cause you some problems. And to Kent out there, let me tell you something. You say that having a woman in your life, that no woman in your life, even this woman will ship you up the river. Think about this for a second. Would I'd rather have someone that gives a fuck about my ass than to sit there and have a woman that's gonna ship me up the river. I'm sorry. But if you have that kind of thinking, then something's wrong with that picture. I'm sorry. And like I said, I know going midtown can kind of suck at times, but at the end of the day, think about this for a second. At least I ain't got some women that's gonna sit there and ship me up the river. That's not gonna blow me off and try to call me and all that bullshit. Because let me tell you something. I've had a few girls' numbers. I had this one woman at one time I was trying to give a call to, and this woman act like nonchalant, even though the bitch gave me the real phone number, she just looked at me like I was a feather in her cap. Do you want to date women like this, Kent? Do you really want to date women like this? Think about this. Like Elton John says, I don't want to go on to you like that. I don't want to be a feather in your cap. And it's like this, honey. I ain't mad, but I don't want to go on to you like that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put that song on G Plus, and I hope those idiots out there, and I hope some of the people out there G Plus knows what Elton John's talking about. Yeah, hey, he may be a gay man in this day and age, but you know what? That man was talking about some stuff that was deep. And like I said, I don't want to be some women's feather in the cap. I'm sorry. Next time your family tells you that crap, you know what I tell them? Go fuck off. That's why I tell the family go fuck off somewhere. Because really, in reality, think about this. They got nothing going for themselves anyway. And if they do have a girlfriend, 9 times out of 10, they probably sucking them dry. Why compare yourself to the Joneses out there? It don't make no sense. Most smart men ain't gonna do that shit, man. I'm sorry. Smart men are not going for that shit. You understand? Do you quit trying to seek validation from other people, and especially validation from these Western women, man? Because these Western women, and especially some of the majority of these black women, are the worst. And technically, I don't care if they're in college, man. Some of them are just as disingenuous as hell. Now, some of them may not dress provocatively at times, and don't get me wrong. I met some girls that didn't dress provocatively. Yeah, I was young back in the days. I didn't know what the hell to do. Maybe to this day I'm still lost, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna deal with a female that ain't gonna give a rat's ass about me. With this is Carl Mitchell signing off. Kent, I hope you wake up and smell the coffee because it's brewing. And another thing is, do some research on traveling, bro. I'm serious, man. Do some research on traveling. You might find something overseas that you may not find here in America, bro. Straight up. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even trust these girls that go to churches, man. I wouldn't. Half these women are probably out there sleeping around with their pastors. You know what I mean? This ain't about hating women, man. This is about understanding their true nature, bro. So, Big Boss Calvin 83, thank you for that video. For all you MGTOWs out there, it's time to wake up, bro. Straight up. Wake up because the red pill is going to smack you in the face.